A relative coordinate allows you to specify an x and y distance relative to the last point you picked in space. To demonstrate this, I'll start the line command and then pick a point in space at random. I want you to also note that in the status bar, I have turned off dynamic input so that everything I type will show up only in the command window. At any time, you can type an absolute coordinate. If I type in the coordinate of 4, 5 at the command prompt and then press the Enter key, the next point in space will be exactly 4 units over in the X and 5 units up in the Y, measured from 0, 0, the origin of the coordinate system. Let's say I didn't want to create a line up to that location. I'll click the Undo option to undo that segment. What I would actually like to do is to draw a line segment that's 2 units long in the X direction. It seems logical that if I wanted to draw over 2 units to the right, which is the X direction, I could type 2 and then type a comma, and then because I don't want to go anywhere up or down in the Y direction, I'll just type 0. I want to go 2 units in the X and 0 in the Y, but when I press the Enter key, the line is actually drawn to the absolute coordinate location 2 units in the X direction from the origin and 0 in the Y direction. But that's not what I wanted. I actually just wanted to draw a line over 2 units relative to the previous point. So I'll undo that last point. What I can do in order to get the point exactly 2 units over in the positive X direction is to preface my coordinate entry by typing in the @ symbol. By typing the @ symbol, I'm telling the program to measure based on the last point. That makes the last point I used to temporarily behave as if it was the 0, 0 point, so that I can then draw relative to that point. That's basically what the @ symbol does. So now, after typing the @ symbol, I'll type the number 2 for the distance I want to go in the X direction, followed by a comma, and then 0 for the distance I want to go in the Y direction. When I press the Enter key, the program creates a line segment that's exactly 2 units long in the X direction. Now to draw a vertical line, I can do the same thing. Simply type the @ symbol, specify how far I want to go in the X direction. In this case, that value would be 0. I don't want to move anywhere to the left or right. Type a comma, and then type the number 2 to create a line 2 units long in the Y direction. My goal here is to actually create a perfect square by typing in the coordinate values rather than picking the points. Again, type the @ symbol. And this time I want to go to the left. Well, positive X is to the right, so negative X would be to the left. So I'm going to type a -2, comma, 0, and then press Enter. And now I can either click the close option or type the letter C to close back to the starting point, or if I wanted to type in the relative coordinate to draw the line coming down, again, using the @ symbol to tell the program that I want to draw relative to the last point, and then type the relative coordinate, which would be 0 units in the X, a comma, and -2 units in the Y. Because remember, positive values in the Y direction go up, so to draw a line 2 units down in the Y, it would be -2. Press the Enter key twice to end the command. And that's how you create and specify points in space using relative coordinates.